Hello and welcome everyone. Now today's video features the brand new Dutch destroyer, Tromp. Now it's described in game as being a large destroyer leader armed with 150mm guns, officially listed as a light cruiser in the Royal Netherlands Navy, flying the Dutch flag. Now the Tromp is a real ship. It entered service in 1938 and will be available in game first for doubloons in a variety of packages before later becoming available for 238,000 coal in the armory. So the Trump is not the first Dutch destroyer to enter the game. We already have the Groningen, but the Trump does bring a unique feel with it. And I'll cover this in more detail. So let me put up the build, including the upgrades and the captain skills, so you get a better feel for how this ship is set up and how it performs. Now, all the numbers and stats covered in this game are based on this combination of upgrades and captain skills. So, what exactly makes the Trump feel so unique, hear you asking? Well, the Trump is the first destroyer in the game to get access to the Airstrike consumable. So you get attack aircraft at your disposal. Not only do you get attack aircraft, you get very usable guns and long-range torpedoes, making it feel very, very useful indeed, having such a wide array of offensive armament at your disposal. So let's go through the ship's stats, and starting with its consumables. You get the damage control parity, you get a very strong emergency engine power consumable that gives a 25% increase in speed, that is active for 78 seconds with this build and has a reload time of 95 seconds. You also get defensive fire, but unfortunately no hydroacoustic search. When it comes to survivability, let me very quickly put up a screenshot of its armor layout. Nothing really too exciting here. Fore end plating of 19mm, the auxiliary room and deck plating is all 19mm, while the superstructure is 13. The frontal plate on the turrets is 25mm, while the rest gets all-round protection of 15mm. So nothing too exciting. It's standard DD armor in the game for the most part. With this build, the Tromp gets 28,000 hit points, so no repair party. This is as good as it gets with this build, 28,000 hit points. So let's start with this offensive armament, and we'll cover this first by looking at artillery, then the torpedoes, and then the airstrike. Firstly, the main battery. Now with this build, you get a 4.6 second reload on these 150mm guns. You get 6 in total, 3 twin mounted turrets. These have a max firing range of 13.3 kilometers. You have both high explosive and armor piercing shells at your disposal. The high explosive, again with this build, have a max damage of 2150, 2150, a 12% fire chance. They can pen 30mm of armor and have a fast shell speed of 900 meters per second, while the armor piercing has a max damage of 3000 and the same shell speed of 900 meters per second. Now, the armor piercing is quite useful. You will be able to pen cruisers at close range, so take advantage whenever the opportunity arises. I will point out the turret traverse with this build is 17.2 seconds to rotate 180 degrees, and the firing angles while kiting away can be a little restrictive, so you need to take this into consideration while maneuvering. Otherwise, I found the guns to perform really quite well. It's all about positioning and being prepared, and hence the reason I prefer using radiolocation to have those guns pre-aimed at your target in the right position to avoid any slow turret traverse to work against you in any upcoming engagements. Now these 150mm guns have a max dispersion of 106 meters with this build and a max firing range of 13.3 kilometers. Okay, so next on the offensive list is the Tromp's torpedoes. Tromp gets 2 X3 launchers, one on each side, so you can only launch 3 torpedoes per side. Now these are large torpedoes, 533mm. They have a max damage of 13,700, a torpedo speed of 64 knots. These torpedoes can be detected at 1.3 kilometers, and these launchers have a reload time of 70 seconds. So quite fast reloading, decent speed, 64 knots of speed, and decent concealment. I found these to be quite useful. Remember, being really effective with the Tromp means you're going to be combining your torpedoes, your main guns, and these airstrikes at all times. So having the flooding chance stacked on top of the fire chance from your main battery and the airstrikes, which we'll cover in a second, can make the Tromp feel very powerful indeed. Okay, so moving ahead to these airstrikes, you get 2 available flights, 12 aircraft per attack flight, each dropping 6 bombs. These bombs have a max damage of 3700. They can penetrate 21mm of armor and have a very nice fire chance of 23% with this build. So 60-second reload on these flights. So basically you can launch a airstrike every 30 seconds and perma-fire every 30 seconds. This high fire chance makes them very, very effective against destroyers. The penetration means very effective also, and against light cruisers and the superstructures of any large or slow moving target. Combined, the max firing range of 10 kilometers means you can easily fire them from concealment, and I must point out they feel particularly effective against any target that is isolated. I would avoid trying to drop into bunched up ships, including large AA bubbles, as these aircraft have 2,200 HP. But against anything isolated, very effective indeed. So while you can attack enemy submarines with the airstrike while they're on the surface, the Tromp also gets depth charges to attack any submerged threats. The Tromp gets 2 charges. There are 6 bombs in each charge with a max damage of 2000, and these depth charges have a reload time of 40 seconds. So quite effective defenses against enemy submarines while on the surface and submerged. When it comes to AA defense, the Tromp gets 2 single-mounted 20mm Oerlikons, 2 twin-mounted Oerlikons, 2 single-mounted 40mm, and 2 twin-mounted 40mm. There are an additional 4 single-mounted 76mm, which all adds up to a continuous average damage of 274, the vast majority of which is medium range. Now the firing range, the max firing range is quite restrictive. It's only 3.5 kilometers. You get a priority sector reinforcement of 35%, but you do get an additional defensive AA fire consumable, which adds 50% to continuous damage and 300% to the shell explosions, which does feel a little unusual considering that the Tromp fires no black explosions. This does feel a little odd, but you do get the boost to the continuous damage. When it comes to maneuverability, the Tromp gets a base speed of 33.5 knots. Now this is improved with the Sierra Mike signal flag to 35.2 knots, and when activated, the emergency engine power consumable gives a boost to max speed of 25%, which is quite considerable. What this basically means, in straight line speed, the Tromp can attain a max speed of 44 knots, which is not to be sniffed at. Now the Tromp gets a turning circle radius of 720 meters and a rudder shift time of 5.3 seconds. So finally, stats-wise, we come to the Tromp's concealment rating of 96, which is really excellent for a gunboat with so many offensive armaments at its disposal. What this equates to is a surface detection range of 5.9 kilometers, making it very, very dangerous indeed. You will be surface detected by enemy submarines and by enemy aircraft at 3 kilometers. So 5.9 kilometers is very competitive concealment. Just to make a quick comparison, something like the Daring or Halland both have 6 kilometer concealment. So you'll outspot a large number of these other tier 10 destroyers that are quite popular. So a very, very strong mix indeed. A large number of offensive elements at your disposal, decent high speed, good concealment, making the Tromp feel quite unique coming into the game at the moment. To sum up the Tromp, I do like this ship. If you're used to using the combination of airstrikes and main battery guns, similar to the Dutch cruisers, then you will find this a very enjoyable ship to play. Throw in the additional danger of having torpedoes, and you will find yourself in a lot of situations that you can stack quite a bit of damage. So it does feel quite unique. Lovers of the Dutch cruiser gameplay will feel quite at home with this, and in terms of destroyer gameplay, it really does feel quite different having these planes at your disposal. So this is the Tromp, the new tier 10 Dutch premium destroyer that is going to be available for 238,000 coal in the armory. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Feel free to hit that thumbs up button to support. It really does help out the channel a lot. Thank you all very much for watching. If you'd like to see some live gameplay, I stream on Twitch regularly during the week. You can see the link here on screen. I will let this game play out, and I look forward to seeing you all.
Enemy battleship sunk.
Provide fire support for Allied aircraft. Provide anti-aircraft fire support.
Capture that area.
Provide anti-aircraft fire support.
Torpedoes, dead ahead.
Provide anti-aircraft fire support.
All stations, protect that target.
Battle ends in 5 minutes.
Anti-aircraft gun crews are on full alert. The ship is on fire! Problem solved, sir. Nice work. Anti-aircraft gun crews are on normal alert. Engine boost activated. Torpedoes astern. The ship is on fire. Problem solved, sir.
Enemy battleship sunk. The enemy team has taken the lead.
Engine boost deactivated. Torpedo tubes destroyed! The ship is on fire!
Our team depends upon you.
Critical engine damage!
I'd like to thank you once again all for watching. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more. Take a moment to check out some of my most recent videos and leave a comment below. And until the next time, keep sailing it like you stole it.